Hey sis, so I want to give you a quick tip, right? If you have like, this is my season to raise my confidence, I want to feel more fierce. The first thing you have to do, honestly, is you have to set some new standards, which is hard, right? But it's doable because you have to uphold boundaries and let people know, like, this is who I am now and this is what I do, right? People will be stuck in the old version of you, just so you know. But you literally have to really start retraining your brain, right? If you really want to own your worth, you have to change what's going on up here, right? This is the reason why we get coaches. That's why we go to therapy. This is why we journal, right? That's why we have these healthy coping techniques, right? Because if not, when we don't know how to process emotions, when we don't know how to regulate our own emotions, things get trapped in here and it spirals, right? On average, we have about 70 to 80 thoughts per day, okay? And guess what? The majority of them, about 90% of them, are repetitive. So if you have a negative thought every day, I'm unworthy, I'm not enough, I'm not deserving, guess what? You've recycled that every day, maybe for the last 10, 15, 20 years. Even if you're only 18, you've recycled that in your mind. So you got to retrain your brain, right? So like when you go to therapy and you have, say you have 6 sessions, right? When you're talking through that process and you have that other trained professional that is helping you to make sense of your experiences, that is literally retraining your neural networks in your brain, literally retrains your brain. Same is true if you're journaling and you're literally writing things out. You're literally retraining your brain. That's why it's a healthy coping mechanism to have a coach for accountability, to have a counselor or therapist or social worker or a psychologist that can support you through a therapeutic process. That's why it's great to have your pen to write or release stuff, even if it's a trusted friend or even if you're into like music and you're writing things out. Or some people like gardening, right? Some people like painting, whatever it is. You need a healthy coping mechanism to let things out, but you got to retrain your brain as well, right? And why that's important, because when something negative comes up, when something triggers you, you have to train yourself to self-regulate your own emotions and your own thinking. Every thought that you have is not true. Let me say that again. Every thought that you have is not true. Only an unconscious individual would think that every single thing that they popped in their mind was actually true. The more conscious you are, you realize everything's not true. But the second thing is when you hear some negative ish, you're able to say to yourself, okay, you're able to dissect and discern that even though so and so says something to you, that's more a projection of their own feelings or inadequacies or their own living experiences than it is true for you. And that's why you got to remind yourself